Hello, everybody. Annie at Blue Sky. I'm back. It has been a little bit of a transition the past week, I'm sure, for all of us. Just embracing with all of the sort of restructuring of our lives. Digital virtual classes are really new to me. Other than Yoga Glow, I don't do them very often. So I am happy to be here and hosting this class for you. We're going to be launching all of our virtual classes next week. So this is just one that I feel I wanted to offer you all before we actually jump into this next week. Maybe I'm doing this for myself as well as all of you. But again, I feel like we all need yoga more than ever now, and we need to put our practice into action as far as patience, love, non-harming, acceptance. So acceptance of what is, and also how we get creative in what we do. So take a moment to just sit really tall. Make sure that you're in a comfortable space. Maybe you have blocks, maybe you have a strap with you, perhaps a blanket. Let yourself get comfortable. Close your eyes. Take a moment to bring your hands together in front of your heart. And just take a moment to breathe. Nice deep inhale through your nostrils. Big, full exhale through the mouth. Over the last week, I have found myself forgetting to breathe. Even though I do it by default, just like all of us, to be mindful of my breath has such a more powerful impact on my nervous system, on my heart, my actions, my ability to feel. So let this just be a little sweet reminder that throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your evenings, you're sleeping, breathe. I find myself waking up in the middle of the night, and something that really helps my nervous system is to take an inhale for maybe a count of 4, and then an exhale for a count of 8. Just always exhale for the double the time that you inhale. So let's try that. Whether it's an inhalation for 4 or 5, just exhale for that time times 2. All right, so this is really good to just bring more of a sense of ease into our hearts, our bodies, our minds, our nervous system. If you have a hard time falling asleep or falling back asleep, okay? So just take a moment, sit tall. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nostrils, count of 8. And again, inhale, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Inhale, exhale. Know that you can do that anytime that you need to feel a sense of ease in your heart, body, mind. All right, so today I know that we probably all are looking to move and get a little synovial fluid moving, clear the fuzz, the spider webs from our bodies. So let's start there, okay? Sitting tall. I'm going to scoot back to my mat just a little bit here. sitting nice and tall. Bring your hands to your knees and turn them to face up. And take a deep inhale and spread your fingers really wide. And as you exhale, make a fist. Inhale, open up. Exhale, make a fist. One more time. Let this be a reminder that we have no control of things that are out of our reach, out of our control, literally. So to be open, welcoming, feels so much better than gripping, clinging to what you think it should be. Opening and welcoming to what is, and just trying to embrace, get creative, and do the best that we can with circumstances. All right, so when you're ready, let's just take a deep inhale. Look up. We'll exhale, look down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, look down. Now you might start to inhale, lean in. And as you exhale, you're still dropping the chin toward the chest, but maybe leaning back. Inhale, lean in, maybe look up. Exhale, the chin down, lean back. Do this a few times. And you might choose to continue one of these options. You might also consider exploring another option, which is my favorite, circling the torso, in which case you're still exhaling to lean back. Inhaling forward, exhaling round. Switch directions. I believe everything comes full circle. The theme that I use for a lot of the classes that I lead. So we bring it full circle here today. Let yourself sit tall when you feel satisfied there. Inhale, stretch your arms up. We exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Now that we have really arrived in our practice and our bodies, created a little bit of movement, really starting to feel, getting out of our heads and back into our bodies. Take a moment here to acknowledge that we are all doing the best that we can with what we have been given. Embracing change, and in that, taking it day by day. Remember to keep kindness, love, patience in your heart, not only with yourselves, but with one another. Inhale up, and we exhale to fold. We'll walk our hands over to the left. Maybe you stack that right hand on top of the left. Let your right hip stay down. Walk your hands back to center. Over to the right. Stack that left hand maybe on top of the right. Keep your left hip low. So if that left hip wants to lift, Just energetically press down through the hip toward the earth and breathe. Walk back to center as you inhale. Let your head be heavy. Let your arms be heavy. Neck and shoulders are relaxed. Breathe into the back. Start to uncurl. Let your hands drag along the mat as you do this. And then once your head lifts, just move side to side with the head, nice and slow. You might consider dropping the chin down and then lifting that chin up. Just bring a little bit of space to the neck. In both directions. When you're satisfied, let yourself come back up, letting your head come back to center. We'll take that left arm and bring it out to the left. Right arm reaches up. So same thing here, we're pressing down through the right hip toward the earth. Right arm is reaching up and over to the left, feeling that space in the right side body. Big inhale, look up. And as you exhale, look away from your hand down to the floor and sweep that right hand back. And then inhale, come back up with your gaze and the right fingers. Exhale, take it down and look away. Twice more. Now circle. The other way. And then we'll switch. So we look down at the right hand, leaning to the right, left arm reaches up. Press that left hip down, find space between the hip and the fingers on this left side. Big inhale, look up at your left hand, and as you exhale, look away, press your hand down and back. All right, do it again. Inhale it up. Exhale, look away, press it away. One more time. Now circle. Opposite direction. Inhale up, and we exhale back down. Inhale up, exhale, twist to the left. Looking over your left shoulder. Left hand is down behind you, serving as a sort of second spine or pillar for your spine. So using your left hand or fingers down on the earth to help find lift and length in your spine. Twisting softly as you exhale, lengthen on your inhale. Slowly look over your right shoulder. Drop your right ear to your shoulder. Alternate chin and ear to the shoulder. When you're ready, let yourself come back to center. One of the best songs ever, pretty appropriate for St. Louis weather today. The Rain Song by Led Zeppelin. Inhale, arms reach up. And we exhale, twist to the right. So that right hand comes down behind you, serving as a pillar for the spine. Lengthen on the inhale, crown of the head reaches up. As you exhale, soften into that twist, looking over your right shoulder. Put your left hand on the right thigh. Serve as a lever here just to guide you into that twist without a feeling of force. You never want to feel forced. on the mat or off the mat, never feels good. When you're ready, start to look out over your left shoulder. Maybe drop the ear to the shoulder. Chin, you might alternate between the two. Just finding a little bit more space on the right side of the neck. Unwind when you're ready. Come on to hands and knees. All right, so setting up so that your hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. Starting to let an inhale lift your gaze, your heart, your hips. Exhale, round. Think about letting an inhale lift the hips and chin. And as you exhale, round, draw the pubic bone toward the low ribs. Press the earth away, chin to the chest. And you might stay in a movement like this. You might start to press your hips towards your heels as you exhale. Maybe drop the hips toward the wrist as you inhale without keeping the shoulders by the ears. Let your shoulders relax and just kind of move in between these two options. So maybe dropping the hips as you inhale, lifting the heart. Pressing hips back to heels as you exhale, coming into Balasana, just moving, using it as a transition for now. And again, just coming back into your body. So I really haven't practiced in a couple of days, and it just feels so nice to come back into my body. And again, we have that full circle option. So you might drop the hips back and then side to side. Go in the opposite direction. There's really not a right or wrong way to do this, because really all we're asking of ourselves right now is to try to feel into our bodies, reconnect with our sense of being versus doing, right? A lot of our doing is shifting right now. So what we really need to focus on is being, and how can we take care of ourselves, our hearts, our minds, our bodies. When you feel satisfied there, let yourself come back. Bring your hands just a little bit forward of your shoulders, and let's tuck your toes. So it'll look something like this from the side. A bit forward of your shoulders, tuck your toes. And then start to lift your hips. Keep those knees bent, press into the hands. Let your fingers spread wide like we did in the beginning of the practice. Press down into the fingertips. And then really try to distribute that weight equally so that it's not just dumping into the heel of the hand, so to speak. That will eventually cause wrist pain. Press the heart to the knees, lift your hips up. Start to let those heels come down and breathe. You shake your head yes and no. And when you're ready, drop your knees down, untuck the toes. Get the hips as close to the heels as you can safely get them, and then bring your forehead to something. So forehead might be more comfortable on a block. come back up when you're ready. All right, so from here, let's come back to our downward facing dog. Tuck the toes. Start to float your knees up and then press into the hands. Shift the belly towards your thighs and then start to straighten your legs. Maybe bend one leg and straighten the opposite. When you're ready, bend your legs. Walk your feet to the top of your mat. Bend your legs a little bit more. Really letting the spine find space with the help of gravity. And slowly start to uncurl. Coming up, one vertebrae at a time. Finding your way to the top of the mat. Again, let yourself get comfortable. Maybe you're starting to warm up a little bit. All right, for those of you who know me, who practice with me regularly, I step to the side of the mat here because my leg is a little bit longer on this side, so really helpful in my hips. All right, as a matter of fact, let's do this. Now I'll be even when I'm on the side of my mat. Find Tadasana. Stand nice and tall. Allow your toes to lift, spread, set them back down. Lift your heart, let your shoulders melt down away from your ears. Lift your kneecaps towards your hips. Engage your belly a little bit. Let's inhale, stretch the arms out and up. And as you exhale, take up space, shift your hips back. The legs are bent, bring your hands down. We're gonna come up halfway on the inhale. Now, I know a lot of teachers say halfway, flat back. There's all kinds of things that we say, Ardha Uttanasana, meaning half forward fold. And what that looks like is the crown of the head, where you would set a crown on your head, not your chin, not the back of the head, but the crown reaches forward, because that keeps the integrity of your neck in line with your spine. Okay, and a lot of times, most of us need to keep those legs bent so that the back can be flat. Pull your shoulder blades in. So maybe bring your hands to your hips, let your elbows lift to the sky. Okay, that's what it feels like to have flat back. All right, from here, come all the way up. And we'll exhale back to chair. So Utkatasana. Shoulder blades pulling together and gently down on the back. With your inhale, reach your arms up and slowly exhale, sweep that left arm back and twist. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. And we exhale, fold. Soften in the knees. Come up halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold, bend your legs, step it back with your left foot. So let's take that left knee down. Inhale, come up slow, arms lift. From here, take your left wrist, pull it over to the right. So it'll look like this from a front view, okay? Finding a little bit more space in the left side body. From there, release that wrist. Take your left elbow to the outer right thigh. Now, that might not be an option for everybody. That's okay if it's not. You can certainly take the forearm to the outer right thigh and stretch that right arm up. You might Hook the elbow to the right thigh. Bring your hands together. Press that right hand on the left. Draw that right shoulder back. You can stay there. You can tuck your left toes and float your left knee up. And if you do, you might find a balance challenge, kind of like I am. All right. So when you're ready, press your left tricep to your right thigh. Bring that rib cage away from your thigh a little bit more. And unwind when you're ready. Bring your hands down. Take that left knee back down. Let's come into our half splits. So Ardha Hanumanasana. Lengthen your spine as you inhale. And then exhale. Draw that right hip back. Bring your chest a little closer to your right thigh. One more deep breath. Inhale, bend your leg. Now find your way back to down dog. You can do this by lifting the left knee up, stepping it back with the right foot, or bring your knees to the mat and then find down dog. Press the belly to the thighs. Lift your hips up. Guide the heels toward the mat. Press your hands forward, nice and slow. Deep inhale and exhale. When you're satisfied in your downward facing dog, take a deep inhale, bend your legs and step or float your feet forward. Come up halfway as you inhale. Exhale, melt. Rise all the way up. And we'll exhale, fold forward. From here, step it back with your right foot. Take that right knee down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, press your hips forward just a bit. So you're pressing down into your left foot to lift the top of the pelvis up. Iliac crest, I believe, or the pelvic rim. Arms lift. Take that right hand with your left fingers and draw it over to the left a little bit more. So here, we're taking up a little bit more space in that right side body from the right hip all the way up through the fingers again. I call this pulsing. I don't just hold still. Kind of move in and out of it. Just like anything we do, the more familiar we are with it, the more relaxed we get, the more our nervous systems will allow our muscles and our joints to just kind of soften, open, accept. Then release when you're ready. Right elbow or maybe forearm to the outside of the left thigh. So coming into a twist. Option 1. Option 2, press that left hand on top of the right. Really root down through your left foot. Use that right tricep on your left thigh to lift the rib cage away. We don't want to just sink into this. We want to find the energy and lift. Tuck your right toes maybe. See how that feels. Maybe lift that right knee up. And if you lift the right knee up, keep that right leg engaged. Breathe. Let your breath be the most important thing here. It is a beautiful gauge to determine if what we're doing is appropriate for us. See if you can take a full breath in and out. And then unwind eventually. Set that right knee down. Start to shift your hips back and float your left toes toward the sky. So this is flexion in the foot. Ground down through your left heel. Pull your left hip back energetically as if you're trying to slide that heel back. And then lengthen your spine on the inhale. Maybe melt over that leg as you exhale. Bringing some space to the hamstrings. And again, you might move in a way that feels good. Self-exploration, that's really what yoga is about. And what we do here with our physical bodies is really just a deeper, it's a vehicle to a deeper level of understanding of ourselves. All right, so bend that left leg again. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, or come to your knees first, and then find downward facing dog. From downward dog, let yourself roll out to plank. So your shoulders will come over your wrist. Okay, I'm trying to get my hair out of the way here. Shoulders over the wrist, knees are lifted or lowered, all right? I'm gonna show you this from the side. So everybody take your knees down for a sec. So earlier, we maybe explored circling the hips, right? So in that circling of the hips, we're coming into a little bit of a back bend, right? Kind of like upward dog. When you are in plank and your knees are down, we don't want to come into a back bend. We want to avoid that back bend. So think about keeping your low abs really engaged. Crown of the head reaching forward, hug the elbows in. You can stay here or lift up to here. Crown of the head reaching forward. Okay. Find downward dog. And inhale, come out to plank. Options are yours. Breathe. One more full breath. Symbolizing our strength, our endurance, our ability to go on, even though things can get challenging. And then we exhale, back, downward dog. Hold at any time. And then down dog. Or tabletop, you can go to child's. Let yourself rise back up when you're ready. Find downward facing dog. And then with an inhale, let's come out to plank again. Now, let your heels roll to the right. Let your lower body find stability before you change anything with your upper body. So stability here in Vashisthasana, your legs can be stacked or staggered. Feet are flexed. You're on the outer edge of your right foot, inner edge of your left foot, or the right knee comes down. The right wrist is under the right shoulder. The left shoulder is on top of the right, and then the wrist is on top of that. So you're stacking, making kind of like a line that connects the dots. Flexion in those feet, or take that right knee down. Okay? Breathe wherever you are. Everybody drop that right knee down. We'll come here. This feels really good. One of my favorite poses. You can lift that left leg if you'd like, maybe work with balance and strength. Bend that left leg, catch the foot with the hand. Looking down at your right hand, breathe, press the foot to the hand. Remember, everything that we are exploring, it's just that self-exploration. Doesn't matter what it is we're doing physically, it's how we are responding. Accepting, getting creative. Go ahead and release. Let your hand, let your knee come back to the mat. When you're ready, tuck your toes, inhale, lift your knees and your hips. Find downward facing dog again. Press the heart to the knees, lift the sits bones way up. Pressing into all parts of the hand so that we don't dump the weight into our wrists. Let your inhale roll you out to plank. Exhale, heels, opposite direction. Flexion in the feet. Stack or stagger. Right arm comes up. Once you feel like you are stable in the low body, Vashisthasana. Press that bottom hip into the top hip. You can always take your left knee down. We'll eventually take that left knee down. Come into that side body stretch. And then maybe lift your right leg. Find the foot with your hand. And once they make contact, press the foot to the hand. Breathe. And release as you exhale. Ooh, a little bit of movement that feels good for you in any way that you would like. Find your way to downward dog as you are ready. Maybe pedal the feet. Bend your legs. Deep inhale. Exhale. Either step it up, walk it up, or float your feet forward. Come up halfway on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, let your hands come back by your sides. Okay, so let's face this way. I mean, you guys all still face me, but I'm gonna face this way. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. So let this symbolize, as you inhale, reach up, the unknown. And as you exhale, twist away and release. You might even choose to flick your fingers on the way down. Gather up on the inhale, flick on the exhale. Once more each side. Symbolic of gathering the unknown and releasing the known, the things that are habits, patterns that we no longer need. All right, let yourself come back. Finding Tadasana, again, mountain pose. So for me, it'd be like this. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Step back. Inhale, come out to plank. Drop your knees. Look out over that ledge, that imaginary ledge that probably for a lot of us is that unknown, scary feeling. And as you're ready, let yourself bow down to the earth as you exhale. On the inhale, lift into a back bend. Shoulders soft, lift your heart. You can take your knees away from the mat or drop them down. Exhale. Child's. We'll do it again. Inhale up. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, out to plank. Shift your weight forward. Exhale. Chaturanga. You can come all the way down, use it as a transition. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. One more time. Inhale it out. Knees lifted or lowered. Shoulders are past the wrists. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. And just take 3 full breaths right there. One more deep breath in and out. Find child's pose when you're ready. So again, remember, get your hips comfortably back. Make sure it's safe for your knees. And maybe block under forehead. And when you're ready, let's come up nice and slow. Downward dog. Let's take that right leg lifted up. Exhale, take the knee to the nose and step it forward. Rising up this time. So we're on the toes of our left foot. That right knee is over the ankle. Arms reach. Inhale. Exhale, take it down. Warrior 2. So if you're like me, maybe moving a little to get yourself into the pose. I call it pulsing. Looking out over your right fingers, right knee is moving out toward the middle of the foot, toes are spread wide. So we want to try to not grip with our toes. Cut over that right arm, deep inhale. Then reach, reach, reach. Exhale, forearm to thigh, left arm up and over. Draw that left shoulder back. Maybe you even circle that arm. And again, you could take your right fingers down to the inside of your right leg. Maybe left arm up and over and circle there. Press into the left foot as much as you are the right. Inhale up, straightening the right leg. Right arm reaches, reaches, reaches over that right leg. Press your hips to the left heel. Then we exhale. Right hand down, left arm up. Again, stacking wrist, shoulder, shoulder, wrist. Connecting the dots. Legs are strong. Toes are spread wide. Breathe. You could choose to wrap that left arm around the back. Maybe tuck the right fingers, left fingers into the right hip crease. Oh, breathe. This feels so good. Oh, when you're ready, lift that left arm up. So just for fun, you could take your left arm and reach it toward your right toes, and then let your right arm do that same thing. Press into both feet. Breathe. Inhale up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach. And as you exhale, take your hands down. Lift that left heel up. Now, hang out here. We're going to practice that Vashisthasana again. So let's come to the outer edge of your left foot. Take your left hand, bring it under your left shoulder. Right arm can come up. This is another variation of side plank. You could stay here, or take your right foot and set it on top of the left. Okay? Both feet are flat. Draw the toes towards your knees. Lift your hips. You could also take that left knee down. You're ready. Exhale, right hand back to the mat, downward dog, tabletop or child. 5 full breaths. When you're ready, let yourself come back to either tabletop or down dog. Let an inhale guide you out to plank. Exhale, shoulders past the wrist, moving toward the earth. Come all the way down. Inhale, roll up through the heart to the sky. Exhale, child, Balasana. 3 full breaths. Inhale, rise up. Find tabletop or downward dog. Fingers are spread wide. Press your heart towards your knees. Lift your hips way up. Breathe. And your left leg lift as you inhale. Draw the knee to the nose. Give yourself space. Step it forward. Rise up. And then settle in. Know that if this crescent lunge is too much, you can always drop that heel down and come into more of a warrior one leg situation. Inhale here. We exhale, warrior two. So that outer left hip is dropping down. So external rotation of the head of your left femur. That right femur is coming out. Both legs are strong. Arms extend out. Get over your left arm. Big inhale. The next inhalation, we reach. Drop that left forearm down. Right arm reaches up and over. Draw that right shoulder back. You might choose to circle. Both directions if you do. And when you're ready, Up again, warrior two. And then press that left leg straight. So press into the left foot to straighten that left leg. Reach your left arm over your left leg. Your outer left hip is still going down. Left leg is strong. Left hand comes under the left shoulder. Right hand is on top of the right shoulder. And then from there, you might choose to wrap the arm around the back. So we do this to keep the right shoulder from rolling forward, all right? So we circle a lot. That's why we maybe come back behind us, maybe even eventually going into a bind. Since I have not practiced for a few days, I'm not gonna offer that. But you can always do it. It's your practice. Inhale, arm reaches up. And then maybe reach those right fingers towards your left toes. Maybe take your left fingers towards your left toes. Make a little sandwich for your ears. Or with your ears, I should say. Press into both feet. Rise up. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. We are warriors in today's world. Literally. Find your strength. Find softness in it, and move on. Inhale, reach. Exhale, take it down. All right, Vashisthasana opportunity here. So we're gonna start to come to the outer edge of the right foot, flexing that foot. Left arm reaches up. This is another variation, another way that you could come into a side plank. You could straighten that left leg on top of the right. Press your right hip into the left. Legs are strong. Feet are flexed. Staggering them is an option. Dropping that right knee down is an option. Breathing is not an option. And I don't want you to just do it by default like we do all the time. Bring your awareness to it. Let your left hand come back down to the mat. Find downward dog, tabletop, or child. You might pedal your feet. You might feel like holding still would serve you. You might feel like coming out to a plank and then moving through that chaturanga. Really nice. Find your way to the front of the mat. Look, by default, I jump to the left edge of the mat. Come all the way up, big inhale. All right, so I'd like to take a balance. Vrikshasana, tree pose. This is in honor of all the trees that are out there. They're still blooming. There's all kinds of crazy weather going on. It's cold, sunny, it snowed. What was it, yesterday? I don't know. But the trees are still blooming, all right? I want you to imagine your favorite tree. Mine right now is the Bradford pear. Let's stand on our right foot. Take your left heel maybe to the right ankle. Let that left knee move out to the left. Let your hips be level. You could bring your left foot to the lower portion of the right leg or the upper portion of the right leg. Okay, I can't do that without assisting my arms. So what I want you to avoid, please, is your foot on your knee. Okay, let's take any undue pressure off our knees. I think a lot of us have enough knee issues. We don't need to encourage more. Draw your belly in, low belly in. Find Padabandha in that right foot. So let the ball of the foot come a little bit closer to the heel. Engage your right leg. Let the pelvic floor draw the navel in. Start to extend the branches of your tree. Spread your fingers wide. So we find a drishti when we are coming into balances. That's a non-moving spot to stare out at, and that's really helpful. But what happens when we're balancing in motion? And this really is applied in our everyday lives, right? The most powerful tool is the breath. So let's try something here. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, twist to the left knee, so that knee that's out to the side. And use your arms for balance. Inhale, come back up to center. We're going to do it again. I'm not going to say anything. Let your exhale move you to the left. Inhale, back up. One more time, breathe. Woo. All right, come on out. Let's shake out that leg, maybe tuck the toes under, stretch the front of the feet a little bit. All right, when you're ready, we're gonna do the other side. Ooh, I must be thinking about the trees. My allergies must sense that I'm imagining a Bradford pear, because I just felt a good sneeze. Come on, same thing this side. Heel to ankle, foot to lower or upper part of that left leg. Right knee moving out to the right, hips are level, engage. So Pada Bandha, draw the ball of the foot closer to the heel. Lift that left knee toward the left hip. Press the foot to the thigh, thigh to the foot. Draw your belly in, shoulders soft. Crown of the head reaches up. Energize through your fingers. Start to spread the branches of your tree a little bit. You might take it all the way up. You might find a little bit more balance here, maybe here, doesn't matter. Breathe. Tune into the sound of the breath. Maybe find a spot to send your gaze out at. Drishti. Everybody says that a little bit differently, just like all the Sanskrit words, just like really any other translation of language. You know, pronounce things a little bit differently. That's the way I say it. That's the way I see it. All right, when you're ready, inhale, arms up. With your exhale, twist to the right, take your arms down, feel that balance, and do it again. So you might feel that Ujjayi pranayama just coming in naturally. Sounds like you're fogging a mirror. It's very grounding, very powerful. All right, you guys. Release that foot, that standing leg. Take our blocks. Step to the front of the mat. Bring your blocks down under your shoulders. Put your hands on them. Take a big step back with our left foot. But not so far back that we can't straighten that right leg. All right, so if your left heel is really just resting on the mat, super easy, you might want to step your foot back a little bit more. We want to find that resistance so that we can get a sweet stretch on the back of our left calf. Release tendons and back of the ankle. And then draw your right hip back. You might even lift your right toes to the sky. You might set it back down. Lengthen as you inhale. And then from here, take that right arm, reach it up. Wrap it around the back. And we'll switch when you're ready. All right, so let your hands stay under your shoulders. Left foot's forward now, right foot's back. Press that right heel down, but make sure there's still a little bit of resistance. Draw that left hip back. Try to get your back nice and flat. So crown of the head reaches forward. Might lift your left foot up if that feels good. Really drawing your left hip back. Put into pyramid pose. Keep your left foot down and maybe coming into this revolved version. Right, keep drawing that left hip back. Maybe the left arm reaches up. This side is really, really challenging for me to do because of my left hip. It has arthritis. It gives me a little more trouble than the right, but do my best. Wrapping that arm around the back might feel nice. All right. When you feel like you're ready, step your feet forward, let yourself come to a seat. Interesting song. Some days this week I have felt like I was walking on the moon. I'm sure some of you do too. Rest assured, we're here on Earth. We're all in this together. We have to find balance in all that we do, in all of our interactions, in the way we love others as well as ourselves. All right. With that said, and the fact that it's been raining for days, we might need a boat. We're going to come into boat pose, Navasana. So when you're ready, I might do this from the side. Start to lean back. Keep your hands behind your thighs. Lift your heart. Lean back. And this might be your boat pose today. Keep the neck in line with the spine. You might release. If you start to sink in the heart, switch it up. We don't want to sacrifice our hearts for anything. Hearts are more powerful than sometimes we lend ourselves to believe. Squeeze your thighs together. Press those heels forward. Lift your heart. Woo! Well, I have not done that in a couple of days. Let yourself curl all the way down. A movement from side to side. Let your feet come down to the mat. Let the knees fall away. Send your arms out to where they're comfortable. Take 3 full breaths. Your next inhale, start to lift your knees. And then hug your right knee into the chest, straighten that left leg. Stretch your right arm out to the right and come into a twist. Guiding the right leg over to the left using the left hand. Look out over that right shoulder. We'll take 3 more deep, full breaths. Inhaling to come out. Exhale, left knee in. Inhale, right leg straight. Exhale, twist. Send that left arm way out to the left, looking out over your left shoulder. Right hand guides this left leg a little bit closer. Remember, the word is guide, not force. Breathe. 2 more full breaths. When you're ready, allow yourself to unwind. Maybe you stay there. Maybe you roll a blanket up and bring it under your knees. Maybe you move your mat and take legs up the wall. That is my absolute favorite way to take Shavasana. Whatever you decide to do, give yourself the next 5 minutes at least to let your practice integrate, to let your body rest, and breathe, because that is the most important thing that we can do for ourselves right now. I thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in more of our virtual classes next week.